TJ, who won the draft last night?
And when you got 32 teams to choose from, it's almost like, do I want to go with this team, this team, this team? But I'm going to go with the team that had a lot of picks, and I think they did very well with the picks that they had. And I don't think it's close, really, to be honest with you. The New York Jets. It's the New York Jets. You draft Sauce Gardner, you get Garrett Wilson, and then you get Jermaine Johnson. And when you look at that division, you got Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. You got Mac Jones and just the New England Patriots and the aura that they've created and they've established up there. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua down in Miami. The Jets said, we got to compete in our division first. You go get a corner. It sucks for him because he's going to get a welcome to the NFL quite early with those receivers. He didn't give up a touchdown in college football. It's going to happen in the league early. It's going to happen. You get Garrett Wilson who can flat out play. And so, you got so many players, and all three of them, at least for me, were need picks, but those dudes can go. I mean, you look at Jermaine Johnson. Look at how many guys Georgia had drafted in the first round. He's a guy that started at Georgia and transferred to Florida State. And so who was the winner? I got to go with the New York Football Jets. Because every pick they had, not only can those guys play, but they're need players that they acquired.
Yeah, man. I can't sneeze at what the Jets did. That was obviously going to upgrade their team. In a division that's a little tougher than the team I'm going to talk about right now because those Detroit Lions went out there and got, to me, my favorite prospect, the most ready-made blue-chip prospect in this draft, and Aidan Hutchinson. Good Lord. From playing the position and watching Aidan Hutchinson now transition from the collegiate game to the pro game, I'm going to tell you guys how special he looks already at this level.
Would you have taken him number one?
I would have
taken him number one?
Not a doubt in the world. Let me tell you why. To me, he reminds me of a souped-up Jared Allen at this point in his career, going from college to the pro game. If you guys don't remember Jared Allen, long, rangy, technician, could just do it all. And I remember watching him on film, even though I was at the peak of my powers, looking at him and learning from him in terms of how he approached the craft. When you watch Aidan Hutchinson go out there and play, you see subtleties at the position that are very difficult to teach and even more difficult to execute. The guy with his hips, with his hands, with his recognition of the play, how to just go out there and turn human beings, offensive tackles, into just dummies and bags. Like, he's doing bag drills, how subtle he is out there and how effective he is. But also, you add a wide receiver in Jamison Williams, who goes 12th overall with an ACL injury. Let me remind y'all who he is. He was first-team All-American. And to me, on film, he's the one that was the most electrifying when you saw them all play. I got respect for a lot of receivers. Obviously, the NFL does because 6 of them went in the first round. But that guy with an ACL still is a 12th overall pick. He heals from that. You couple that with Aidan Hutchinson, then you start looking in this division. What can Detroit do in this division? You got a division right now where teams look like they either plateaued or maybe coming down the hill. We'll see what the Bears are going to do offensively with a new head coach because they had the worst offense, one of the worst offenses last year. We got the Vikings, and we can see what the Vikings are going to do because they were bad on defense, third worst total defense, and they also got a new head coach. We got the Packers. Okay, you give away Devontae Adams. You don't draft any receivers. Here we go again, Aaron Rodgers. I know you guys always put up the wins, but are you guys going to be that much better drafting defensively? So this is not a wide open division, but a division for Detroit to go out there and do something because Detroit lost close games last year to the Ravens by 2, Vikings by 2, to the Browns by 3, Bears by 2, Falcons by 4. All of a sudden you see Detroit creeping up, other teams creeping down. They were my favorite team to watch last night in that draft.
The Lions did do a great job, and I know LeVar Arrington is watching this. Me and LeVar got a bet. We made a bet a few weeks ago that I said the Lions would not finish last in the division, so I like that. Yeah. I like that, Marcellus. Yeah. But by them getting Jamison Williams, you're right about that. That just shows how talented he is when the guys coming off an ACL injury probably won't play at the start of the season, and he's drafted that high.
Yeah.
Extremely dynamic, fast, explosive athlete. But when you look at these teams and these players, and we look at them now, we don't know the development. We don't know the coaches and the coaching that they're going to get. We assume all these guys are going to get the type of development that they need. We don't know if that's the case. You and I, from playing in the National Football League, know some good coaches, a lot of bad teachers. and so you laugh because you like, yeah.
A bunch of names popped up in my head too, but I'm going to let that lie.
Yeah, and so congratulations to those guys. But when I look at it, I just look at it like Sauce Gardner, you can probably say he was probably the best corner in the draft. A lot of people had Garrett Wilson, the number one receiver. Me, I was biased. I had Drake London number one, but I was biased.
Tell him why.
Because I worked with him.
Exactly.
I worked with Drake.
Right.
And so it was kudos to the hard work that Drake put in to go number one, be the first receiver pick.
Yep.
And then I thought Jermaine Johnson was going to be a top 15 pick. And so for the Jets, I believe they got him at 26. You got 3 first-round picks. It looks like on paper the Jets did miss, but we won't know that for a couple of years.
Oh, man, well, we got to ask somebody who's a quote-unquote expert on the NFL draft, my man Bucky Brooks. So, Bucky, you got to tell us, break it down. Who won the draft last night?
Look, man, I think both of the teams you guys have mentioned certainly did a bang-up job. But I'm with the New York Giants in terms of winning the draft because championship teams are built from the foundation in the trenches. And when I look at what they were able to do, I think they knocked it out the park. First, in getting Kayvon Thibodeaux, who, by all accounts, is the most natural pass rusher in the draft. When you look at what Kayvon Thibodeaux does, it translates well to the NFL. First step quickness, burst, his ability to bend on the third step, his production consistently over time leads me to believe that he is going to be an outstanding pass rusher. On offense, Evan Neal, someone who's played 3 different positions at Alabama, gives them a foundational piece to fix that offensive line. And at a time when they declined the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones, they're undecided about Saquon Barkley. What they've done is they've solidified the front line to see if those guys are worthy of carrying on. To me, that is what you're supposed to do in a draft. Build a foundation to set you up for championship success.
Yeah, Bucky, we respect what you're saying as well, especially up front. You can see them on both sides of the line of scrimmage that the New York Giants handle business. But can you break down our 2 selections, the impact you saw of the draft on the Detroit Lions and who TJ had, the New York Jets?
So with the Detroit Lions, man, I think the Detroit Lions just really nailed it. They nailed it because Aidan Hutchinson, to me, was about as safe as they come as a pick. When you look at him, outstanding pass rusher, great athlete, outstanding football character. Check, check, check. Jameson Williams, if Jameson Williams is healthy, the overwhelming majority felt like he was the number 1 receiver in the draft based on his explosiveness and big play ability. You look at the Lions, you now have given Jared Goff an elite premier receiver on the outside and upgraded their defense. So, yeah, I love what they did. The Jets, to me, I think they got 3 guys that were worthy of being selected within the top 10. And I know that is saying something, but Sauce Gardner is real on the perimeter. Long, rangy, does a great job of stymieing guys at the line of scrimmage. He should be able to play from day one and play at a high level. Garrett Wilson, I would say, is the best route runner in the draft. We can debate whether he's the best receiver, best route runner. I believe he is that guy. He wears that crown. You put him with Jermaine Johnson, who is an elite pass rusher. The Jets were able to knock out several needs with 3 first-round picks. I think if you're in New York, you're excited about what you were able to pull off.
Yeah, I totally echo that, what you just said, especially about Aidan Hutchinson being the safest prospect. And usually when you say that, you think that the guy is someone who's a can't miss. Well, let me just tell you, he won't miss. I'm going to go even further than can't miss. He won't miss. He is a technician. You talk about having natural talent and Kayvon Thibodeaux, respect to that. but there's also a machinery, a technicality to the position that I see from Aidan Hutchinson that, frankly, I haven't seen before. The guy is rangy, the guy is long, the guy is just a master of his craft at this level already. Now the coaching takes in. Now all of a sudden it's about the organization and the buy-in and the culture, all those other elements, et cetera. But in terms of a prospect, I don't think there was another one with a higher floor, it felt like, than Aidan Hutchinson. So let's see how they all go out there, because I'm sure a lot of these teams feel good about their draft selections, but it's the NFL, so not for long. We'll see how it all plays out.